I'm going to say there is no shame in the game if that mirror is a magnifying mirror. In fact, we are going to meet you right there. Because makeup for mature skin, it deserves and needs its own discussion. The challenges are real. You probably want some makeup. It might even be an age-embracing sort of look. Studio 5 style and beauty contributor Megan Moore has built you an effortless routine with a complete guide to methods and to products. Great to see you, friend.
Thank you.
How often does this topic, this question of makeup for the mature skin, come into your circle?
A lot. I get DMs and emails a lot. And I think the reason is because brands have not done a great job at marketing to this age. I think it's starting to change. I'm seeing a shift where it's like, hello, these women count too, right? They've got the money, they've got the time, they want to feel great too, right? So we're seeing that shift, but it hasn't been there in the past. So I think a lot of people feel like, is this for me? What do I do?
Yeah, and it's an easy trap as a consumer, right? On the other side, I think, to get stuck in what you know. I remember I had a makeup artist about 5 to 6 years ago say, sister, time to glow up, grow up your makeup bag. And there is that, it's scary to evolve.
For sure.
But you've talked about that before as well, that your routine needs to serve you and grow up with you.
Absolutely. There's nothing good is staying stagnant, right? We always need to grow and change. And so these are things that I think anyone can do. And I think when you kind of hear it and the light bulb will go off, oh, that makes sense. That change isn't as scary as I think it would be.
Common issues for more mature skin as we lean into makeup for the more mature face are what?
So definitely a change in texture. I think that's the biggest one. Our pores show up a lot more. Our fine lines and wrinkles are there, right? We just don't have the smooth canvas that we used to have. So we can't just like kind of cheat things and get away with it. We actually have to be a little bit more intentional to kind of work with the texture that we're given as we get older. The other thing is our oil production goes down drastically. Like at 50, it just really, really drops. So our skin is just naturally drier. And so we have to kind of combat that, which we may not have had in the past.
I always admire a mature woman who's glowing. And I know there's trickery involved in that. We'll talk about that. What age, before we dive in, you've got a lot of great goodies to share. What age should I start considering some of these practices and principles?
I'd say 40 plus is probably when you're going to start to see those changes. And then again, at 50 is where we're going to see a bigger jump in those changes. Yeah. So anything in that age range and above.
Here's to it, sister.
Here's to it.
Let's go. First, we want to hydrate. We want to prep our skin.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that no makeup will look good on dry skin. If it's dry and kind of like nothing, you can't put anything on it that's going to look good. So make sure your skincare is prioritized and your prep products are prioritized. So I have a few here that I think are great to get yourself prepped. So this is my beautiful mother-in-law. She's so nice to help me. But I'm prepping the skin first. So I'm doing a great blurring primer, and then an under eye prep product is key, and then a lid prep product is key. Okay. So you want to make sure you have those three before you start on the makeup.
These are the products you like.
Yep. So the prep product for the skin was these amazing kind of blurring drops. So it's a serum and it has a blurring quality to it. So it's the last product you would put on after your moisturizer. It's great and it just goes on like, again, like a serum, and it's just going to kind of give a nice blurring effect so that everything over the top kind of floats a little bit over the texture.
Okay.
The under eye prep that I love is this one down here by Pixi. It's their vitamin C under eye prep, and it's kind of an orange tone, so it's going to counteract the blues and the purples that we have underneath our eye, and it's going to prep the eye for concealer that will come later down the road.
Okay.
And then a great lid primer is crucial because, again, we're going to get that looser skin on our lid. Things just don't go on as smooth. So this MAC product is a great one. It's kind of more like a moisturizer feeling. It's not too tacky. If we get anything too sticky, it's going to really have a hard time spreading over that looser skin. So I really like this one just to get everything to kind of grip and stay in place.
You say color matching is key.
Key. I would say this is probably number one. When we start to have texture in our skin, we can't hide it anymore with color that just like kind of is like, oh, that's a kind of close match, right? We can't get away with it. And in fact, if we are using the wrong color, it will actually make all of the texture worse. So you want it, doesn't matter what the formula is, if it's the perfect color, it's going to do more for you than anything else.
That's big.
Spend time finding the right color, absolutely, that's number one.
Okay.
And I would say on your base products, on your foundation products and your concealer products, especially this is crucial, thinner products are going to be easier for us to blend and they're going to stay more hydrating. And so again, get the right color, but then a thinner formula is great. These are two of my favorites. So this is a serum foundation that I was using on my mother-in-law. You'll see how thin it is. It's like a liquid and it drips. And that's gonna be really beautiful over textured skin. It's gonna have the glow. So that glow you were talking about, this is one of those.
Okay.
So a serum foundation is a great option. It's gonna be thinner. And then I always go back to this Bye Bye Under Eye for a concealer.
I love it too.
It's so good. It's hydrating. It doesn't dry all the way down. It stays a little bit more moist, and so it kind of really helps with the dryness underneath the eyes. No matter what, I always go back to this one. It is just my tried and true, definitely for mature skin.
So let's talk actual application techniques. What should we be thinking about there?
Okay, so we want to make sure that we're keeping everything less is more, right? The more we're piling on, the more texture we're going to start to see. So keep it less, start with less. You can always build it, but I would say thinner layers, less of it. And then I also like to say blend it 2 ways. So you'll see here I'm putting on her foundation and I start with a brush, but then I like to switch to a sponge and use a sponge to finish blending it in. Or if I'm putting something on with my fingers, I might start with my fingers and then blend the second way with a sponge or a brush. But they all kind of offer 2 different things, like the other one doesn't, right? So fingers are going to have warmth, which will help spread product. A sponge is going to have moisture in it, so it kind of blurs and blends. So they all have something that the other one doesn't. So pick 2 and blend, no matter what, at least 2 different ways.
2 different ways.
Yeah.
But work this step. I mean, this is a step that will
absolutely. We want to push and press into the skin and make sure we're really getting it blended. It will serve you the best, but I always say, okay, I'm going to start with this one and finish this with this one, and I can tell the difference in my results for sure.
All right, this is all making sense. It very much is a light bulb as you described it. All right, the next tip is sort of a cheat to lift everything up.
Yep, I would say cheat everything just a titch higher. We're just gonna pretend that our cheekbones are still up here.
Pop that girl right up.
We're gonna pretend our eyebrows are still up here. We're just gonna cheat everything a little bit higher. And it doesn't have to be something that's overly noticeable, right? We don't want people to be like, whoa, your blush is crazy. But especially with like our cheekbones, we can place blush and contour a little higher. So here I'm putting that contour right on her cheekbone and I'm blending upwards. Instead of maybe in the past, I might have put it down lower underneath her cheekbones. And same with her blush. I'm bringing it all the way up, kind of almost underneath her eye, which it might feel foreign at first, but it's going to visually lift the entire face. And same with your lips. You can cheat that lip line just a little bit higher. It doesn't need to be noticeable, but it does make a big difference.
So lift up, blend up, place up.
Yep.
Okay, any good product recommendations for this little cheating technique?
Absolutely. So this is the contour stick that I was using. It's the Makeup by Mario, the Soft Sculpt. It's super easy to use, and again, just kind of paint it on a little bit higher, maybe a ½ inch higher than you used to in the past, and then blend upward. It's just gonna do a great job of like waking up those cheekbones again.
Okay.
The blush that I was using was the Patrick Ta blush down here. I love these because they come with both a powder and a cream. And what's unique about him and his philosophy is he does powder first and cream over the top. So he uses the powder with the brush and then blends with the cream, give a beautiful glow on the cheeks. Super gorgeous. I love these. And then for brows, sometimes when we get a little older, our brow hairs become wiry. As they lose pigment, they lose that like softness.
Okay.
Yeah, so gray hair or a hair that doesn't have as much pigment becomes wiry, so it's really hard to get our brows to stay where we want them. So this is just a great product by e.l.f. It's their brow lift. It's a clear gel, but it's got enough staying power to keep those brow hairs in place.
All right, finally, this is so good, Megan. Finally, advice for brighter, lighter eyes.
Yep, you've heard me say it a million times. Ditch the dark color. We're already fighting gravity, right? We're already fighting our eyes feeling a little bit smaller. So go brighter, go lighter, keep the lash line light and open, and instead of that, use your mascara to be what you spend your time on to get your definition. So I like to just keep a shimmer. I think shimmer's beautiful at any age. A lighter color, I'm using kind of a pink and a gold here. Just beautiful, but then that time that I'm not using eyeliner, I'm actually spending on mascara to open up the eyes.
Look how lovely she looks.
Right?
Beautiful, there's a glow, there's a softness.
Just
Good
gorgeous.
work, sister, she is beautiful.
Isn't she a
the
doll?
products you use for the eyes?
So the Shadow Sticks by ColourPop, these are super affordable, lots of different colors. They're like $9, so you can buy lots of different colors, and they're so easy to put them on. Just swipe them on and blend them out. And the mascara I love is a tubing mascara, because again, when we lose our lashes as we get a little bit older, the tubing kind of can make up for that. It will extend lashes where there actually isn't hairs. And so this is a great option by Tarte. My only criticism is it doesn't come in brown yet, but I am trying to get that to happen. So if you guys want to help me on that bandwagon, but it's a great option to kind of fake lashes where we might not have as much as we used to.
Yeah, brown bring your preference for the softness that it provides
absolutely.
and the brightness. You know your stuff, sister. This was
Thanks.
really helpful. I can hear everyone standing ovation at home in their living room. So thank you very much. Where can we get more details on all you shared today?
I'll have all of this linked for you on my blog, thebeautysnoop.com, and come hang out with me on Instagram at beautysnoop.
All right, thank you again.